other side, so that helps.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Planning and Highways Committee meeting today, the 10th of July. No members of the public, so I don't have to read all that. Can I just remind everyone to put their phones on silent?
And remind them to put them back on when they do it, because it's like 12 o'clock tomorrow morning when we're at 5 is born, it's still born.
Thank you. Right, agenda item 1, apologies for absence.
No apologies.
Thank you. Agenda item 2, disclosure of interest. To deal with any disclosure by members of any disclosable pecuniary interests and interests other than pecuniary interests as defined under the Seaford Town Council Code of Conduct and Localism Act of 2011 in relation to matters on the agenda.
Sure, I have one. Just by chance, I read this, and Mr. Tyrrell is Adam Tyrrell. And I don't know, but I've spoken to him more than one occasion on different issues around Seaford. And I don't know if I'm allowed to comment on it or not.
You've not had any involvement in this particular
Not
application?
at all. He's asked me about 2 or 3 things about Seaford, because he's obviously a developer. I'm not giving any advice whatsoever, but the fact of the matter is, I do know it. But on this particular one, and set out actually I think it would be close, because he mentioned it to me. He said we're going to change the application at St Leonard's. So I think it's better if I disclose it rather than and not vote on it, rather than some hassle about 6 months down the line. Because he approached me 12 months ago about doing this at St Leonard's, and I said, yeah, that's fine, I said, because something needs to be done on that particular property. He's mentioned to me, I've not spoken for 12 months, and I don't know how I feel on this. But I've disclosed it. What do you think is the best way? Just keep your mouth shut or what?
I think it would be best with this one. In case at some point he says he has spoken to you about...
He probably will do.
Yeah,
so I'll keep your mouth shut.
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd mention it. Okay, that's understood.
Councillor Hanlon.
Yes, 20-something Warwick Road. I'm not sure how to word this, but we know the people who own this property, and actually, in fact, all the councillors except for Councillor Buchanan know these people. I'm trying not to say, because obviously it's on camera, so I'm not sure how we. But I don't know. I've not been involved at all in any of this.
No. I think
they're known to councillors, but not in a work capacity or in a pecuniary capacity.
There's no public participation. So we'll move on to planning applications. Planning applications received in the week commencing Monday the 26th of May. LW/25/0312, St Leonard's Church Hall, Church Lane, demolition of Church Hall and erection of 2 dwelling houses. I will mention the plans what came before this committee, which we refused on, was different to what the officers asked, because they updated the plans and we didn't see them at the time. If you remember, the original plans, there was a tower which went up, and it was sort of boxy and sort of too modern for the area, and that's what we refused it on. But then the plans were revised, and the officers at LDC passed it, and they are similar to what we see today. Just thought I'd update you on that. Right, so who would like to lead this one? So Richard.
If I just start, I prefer having the smaller houses as opposed to a bigger house. So that side of things, I think that works better really for this neighbourhood, for actually not too far away from here really, as we talk tonight. And I mean, the original, if you're thinking of the actual church hall itself, there's nothing special, so we're not missing that. That's that side of things. So I think they've obviously done a lot of work with the developer and the district council to get it more to probably more of a satisfactory sort of situation for that part of the boundary of the conservation area on the edge of the church grounds. So at this stage, I'd be happy to support it at this stage. I'll see what the others think.
Yeah, having looked at this, it makes sense to turn this into two properties. Sorry, into the properties. So, and it does seem fitting for where it is as well. So I was happy to support this.
Yeah, I would say when I read the note that we objected to it, and I was looking at the plans, I was like, that's not what we objected to. But yeah, I would have approved this style the last time if that was before us. So I'm quite happy to support this as well.
I don't know if anybody wants to make comment about the refuse bins, which the letter of objection came in. Councillor Richard Hutton.
Like some of the towns in the area, when they are doing refuse collections generally, like Lewis itself, Lewis Town Centre, they have the smaller vehicles. I don't know if that happens to survive, I don't live in the town centre, so I'm not sure. Do the big lorries, that side of things, they do make amendments to have the smaller vehicles, so I don't know if that does happen in the city, like they're doing some of the smaller streets in Lewis. So it's always going to be a factor, town centre. Collection of refuse and the issues that go with that. It's always going to be a little bit of that.
I think it's a matter of where the bins are going to go rather than...
Okay, let's quickly come back. Not all the houses in Lewis itself have the smaller black or the green style bins unless they request it. They don't all have access, so a little bit of what was I going to say, jurisdiction on that on the residents' part to them to decide if they want one or not. So.
So on the application they noted size bins. The waste and recycling people have come back going, we don't do those size bins anyway, so that's one thing that's wrong. The complaint, there is an objection from one of the local residents, is because there is nowhere to store the bins, and it is a small road and it is well used as for footpath, and actually there should be somewhere possibly that they can keep the bins rather than just being left out in the street all the time. So maybe something more needs to be done with the bins and storage of them.
So I propose that we support the application and put in about the bins.
Hopefully come back. Yes, so I'd be interested to know a bit more detail on what the other smaller properties have. I know that some of them nearby probably have a backyard, don't they?
I think they've all got big bins. They're all sat alongside the wall as you come along.
Oh, okay.
So it ends up being quite a lot of rubbish.
Do you think it's some communal style one? They get by from the home.
I think they're the 240 litre ones.
Not the 120s.
They're all just along, and they're all numbered like for each house. And they're just stacked along there.
Well, you mentioned the 120 version here, so.
Yeah, but I think that's what one of the comments is that they've already got all of those bins along
Right.
there. There isn't room to put another 3 onto that run.
But is it enough? It's not enough to turn it down. I mean, the bins along the property of this conversion should be the ones relating to obviously to this particular, if they go ahead, to this particular development. So I don't know if other people are using the covered space at the moment. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's not covered. This is open. It's just along the road. So it's just, I think what the district council is saying that in this plan, they're saying that they would just be 2 120 litre bins, but Lewis is saying that 120 litre bins don't exist. So
the half the size ones.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean my mother's got them. So
no, I think they've said here So that would be
140,
140.
not 120.
Oh, sorry, one. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
in the plan, they've said that they would only need 2 120s. So I think we might need to comment. Obviously, if Lewis highlighted this, we might need to say that we're not sure that will be sufficient.
Bit of clarification. It's not enough to turn it down, but it needs to be a bit of.
Yeah, just a note of concern.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I have a proposal to support this application, Councillor Richard Hammond, seconded by Councillor Gorman, and can I have a show of hands, please? That's unanimous.
It's not about the balance actually. I'm not putting more to it, but it's not about the balance. No. And from what you've got to learn, it's a good development there. So, well done. Thank you, members of the purpose for supporting that. It's an improvement on the last one.
Any applications Monday the 2nd of June? There were none. So we move on to any applications received in the week commencing Monday the 9th of June. LW/25/0179, 20 Sutton Park Road. Demolish existing ground floor rear lean-to and erection of a Part 2-storey single-storey rear extension. Relocate existing steps for the first floor masonette and the new advertising sign on the side of the building. Let's open this up.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work in a small area, and in essence, it's absolutely great. And then we sort of have a good look at it. That's it. Thank you, Chair. Thank you. Yeah, it's quite a large development in a small, basically residential, commercial residential area. Well, it's TP and all, yeah. It's a lot of work. And we've got to consider the fact, is it too much in a small footprint, or is it enhancing the area? And that's what I think we need to consider. And my opinion is, I put it over to the members of the committee to decide what we decide to focus on this one way or another. It's a very large development in a small footprint. But I've been HTP, yeah. Having said that, I just point out to HTP, I do deal with them at work. They're excellent structural engineers. I do use them for structural engineering problems. I've not used them at all in this particular environment. And in HTP I do it normally, it's about right. But I leave honestly to Mr. Commissary.
Councillor Buchanan?
Thank you, Chair. I'm not necessarily in a position to discuss one way or another whether the size is too big or too small, because I don't really understand the facts of those businesses. Unarguably, it's an extension to the commercial space which that company has assumed would be of use, and therefore that's that, because they support the local businesses. So yeah, if you're looking at if it has value, then that might be one way of pursuing it. It's just builders want to agree, and we support the local contractors and
Thank you, Chair. It is quite large for the first floor extension. It does take up basically the whole backyard space. But kind of in agreement with Councillor Buchanan. I don't actually have a problem with it because it is commercial resident, commercial property, and this is what we should be supporting in the town. The only thing I'd say is the signage at the sides of the building, because there is a gap between that and the next one, but the size of those compared to the gap, I don't think it would be worth it to be seen by anything. I'm not sure why they've got something so big in that area, but apart from that.
Thank you. Yes, I listened to what everyone else has said. I don't think the issue with the external stairs, it's not an issue with them. We know there's examples of around Central Seaford were examples like that, so that's not really the problem. Is it too much of the area? Again, we're in a town centre situation, so that's the. It's good seeing there are examples around similar to that, obviously we know. So.
Councillor Libby.
I'm just having a look. There is a lot going on. I have to admit, I was a bit concerned about the advertising boards as well, because there's not going to be much gap. It's going to be really, really tiny, and is it actually going to be worth putting them up? Well, obviously they feel it is, otherwise they wouldn't put this in the application. But it's just going to be so tiny.
I would propose to support it.
Is that one a seconder? Councillor Bourne. And those all in agreement? It's unanimous. Thank you.
In the door again.
Planning applications received the week commencing Monday the 16th of June. SDNP/01966/FUL, land to the north of Eastbourne Road. The creation and use of a temporary construction compound including access onto the A259, car park, storage yard, welfare and office facilities to support the SC bridge replacement.
Thank you. Well, obviously, I've dealt with Belfort Beats the last 20 years, and they've taken off Sir Robert McAlpine as one of the major constructors in the UK. And I also deal with the East Sussex highways and stuff on a completely separate matter layout. And Belfort Beats to say that it's pretty good. All I can say about Belfort Beats is they're pretty good and they're honest. And all I can say, I support this application on the pretext that a condition service carry out program, which Belfort Beats will do anyway. They're building a large, very, very large substation just outside of Upfield, probably about as big as Seaford on this new energy thing with regards to the green energy. And I looked at the wildlife plan. Honest to goodness, what they've not done is not worth knowing. So I will support this application on the, I'm saying, on a condition serve. The Belfort Beats condition serve will be about 1,000 pages thick, because they know exactly what to do, how they're going to do it. So I will support this application. I've got a little, Seaford Town Council, or a condition serve. And just to clear our backs in case other residents come back to us into later today. So yeah, Belfort Beats will be good.
Any other comments? Absolutely.
A couple of things, yes, I'm assuming that would only, it's only going to go ahead if the bridge really does go ahead, so that's one criteria. I'd like to comment about the much used path along the highway. I've never, in the last year or so, I've never seen anyone walking along the Berg.
There's a death trap, that's
And I
why.
don't think it's official park anyway, so can that be clarified, please, in our response? It's not, we can't really use that as consideration. It isn't an official park, is it?
Well,
Could be made one.
through each that path up there, it's an absolute death trap.
No.
You walk 1 foot out of it, you drop 7 foot onto the road and get killed. So I don't know if it's been considered as a footpath.
It's not really.
It's a death, in your flip-flops, you drop to death.
Thank you, Chair. It used to be a well-used footpath. I remember when
Yeah,
I
it
first
used to.
moved down here, I used to always walk down it, and gradually
It comes a woman.
it
Yeah,
got
It's too dangerous, it's not really.
it got grown over and never cleared down. And actually, if we can then, and so many residents mentioned that they used to use it. Actually, can we not get a win that we're quite happy to support this because yes, we want the bridge, but when they finish, can they not
That could
make
be the time
sure
to do it,
and do the
There's a
pathway
windfall,
back again?
council.
So I'm quite happy to support this application and the pathway being set back again for
Perhaps
future use.
council, perhaps used as a windfall, but it slices it back.
Yeah.
It costs a couple of
I've got
grand.
Councillor Buchanan.
Thank you, Chair. Actually, in all the documents that are part of this planning thing, and I think I might even gone back another one, there's a letter from Jeff Johnson, dated 1st December 2023, which actually talks about this exact thing.
That's harder.
So it might be worth back referring.
That's what I've got it from, because Jack was our planning officer.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I've literally taken that wording from that. Yeah.
About the
Yeah, so I was gonna-
to the landscape offers a suggestion and conditions improvement to this path.
Yeah, I'd like to stick with the same wording for this one really, if the committee supports it and wants to do the same.
Alright.
Because obviously then was withdrawn, so that potentially is not actually being picked up by people who want to see that comment.
Right. Any other comments? So can I have a proposer? Did I have a proposer? Yes, Councillor Ward. Seconder, Councillor Buchanan. And are the proposer and seconder happy that Izzy uses the same word as previously?
Right, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So can I have a show of hands to supporting this application? That's unanimous. Thank you. Planning applications received in the week commencing Monday the 23rd of June, LW/25/0275 for close, erection of a porch. To order this one, Councillor Warner.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It is a very tiny little infill to just sort of square up their porchway to have a little area, so I'm quite happy to support this.
I'll second it.
Thank you,
So it's all discussed.
Councillor Richard Conrad.
Well, I was going to say what Councillor Gordon said, but exactly, it's an infill with some of the put the coats in the winter and everything, and you know, it's basically in our house, I think. So I'm happy to support.
Absolutely.
So can I have a show of hands supporting this application? That's unanimous. Thank you.
So is it how shallow the planning thing is for a porch? It should actually just be pushed through, that's another story.
Right, moving on to tree application. TW/25/0057/TPO Freeholm Chipton Lane. And we've got Holmo, which they want to reduce in size.
Well,
I can't open it, I can't imagine there are many pictures.
There isn't any picture.
Good
I won't
idea.
bore it that time.
through you,
It's
sir,
boring.
we're having a lot of problems at work with oak trees because it's not rained for 6 months. And They absolutely stressed Eric for actually getting themselves together as they are, and they've been parched with exceptionally high sunlight and temperatures. I've actually not looked at these trees, one of the and I think you've got 12-foot reduction there. I think it is a lot, but I think if we don't do it, I fear the tree may pass away. Digressing, we've got the same problem at work, and we've got hundreds of oak and beech and trees, and they're so stressed this year. A lot of them died up in like bee rings, like they're not growing at all. So I think if we don't do this particular 12 foot, it's a massive composite. We may lose the tree.
So you're
Our
supporting,
support application.
because they do say it's wet decay.
Because it's not water structure, because it's not, it's just, there's no water.
Councillor
The only thing is, when I looked at this morning, well, it really should be trimmed now.
Oh yeah, every year.
Yeah.
Every year,
It needs to be done later into early spring, because otherwise the tree, you're just going to, like Councillor Lord has already alluded to, you're just going to totally stress the tree out.
Yeah, that's right.
Taking 4 metres off it, especially when, with the weather we've got at the moment, it needs everything. I mean, the dead and decayed bits, if they're dead, they're dead.
Yeah.
But actually cutting off anything that's live,
Yeah.
it's not really a good idea to be doing at the moment.
Actually, President was quite correct. I'm looking at put it back September, October, November, again in the growing season.
But if it's dead,
But it's dead, but
they can take
So you're proposing to support the application
Yes.
with,
Is it?
I'm proposing to follow Council Hunter and cut the then limbs off now with a pollard in probably October, November, September.
well, it says later into early spring, so technically, not until next year.
okay, you seconding,
Yeah, they do need to remove the dead bits.
any other comments? So can I have a show of hands on supporting this application? Comments? Thank you. We move on to the update report on page 6. Asked to note the report unless you've got any comments.
I have, well, the only thing I was to highlight was that there's been 2 withdrawn applications. One of which, obviously no reason to know, one of which obviously is the Rookery Shore application at Bishopstone. I have emailed the case officer to ask what happens now, because there's been no works happened. So I'll wait and hear on that and let you all know how that goes.
So unless there's any comments, to note the report, so can I have a show of hands on note the report? Thank you. And that concludes the meeting. Thank you everyone.